Ashley, you have a major exclusive tonight about Neil Gorsuch. Usually every president and every surrogate speech we see has Neil Gorsuch in it as one of the crowning achievements of this presidency so far. But as you report, it was almost pulled. It almost didn't happen. Tell us the background on that story.
Sure. So, as you mentioned, this is something the president has repeatedly touted as a signature achievement, and especially until tax reform passes, it's perhaps his only major achievement. But basically what we found out happened was early on when Neil Gorsuch was going through the confirmation process. You may remember he was up on Capitol Hill having private meetings with members, and he did what justices and nominees often do in these situations, which is he sort of in a private meeting with Senator Blumenthal, he was forced to distance himself from some of the president's remarks on the federal judiciary, and he called them disheartening and demoralizing. The president heard these comments. He had not been prepped by anyone in the White House to expect them or any sense that this is a natural thing a judge might say while trying to get confirmed to the Supreme Court. And our reporting tells us he was incredibly frustrated and angry, and he began venting to advisors, saying Justice Gorsuch would be disloyal, he might be liberal, he was ungrateful, and he knew a lot of other judges who would be happy to have the job. I do have to say right here that the White House has pushed back on this a little, and it is a bit unclear if the nomination was ever in actual jeopardy or this was just the president venting his frustrations aloud, as he often did. But people on Capitol Hill and people in the White House were deeply worried, and everyone kind of scrambled to try to remedy this situation.
Philip, let's lay aside for the moment the president's sister is a federal judge. What would this story show a misunderstanding of on the part of Mr. Trump?
Well, that a federal justice on the Supreme Court is not doesn't have to have personal loyalty to the president. I mean, Neil Gorsuch was nominated by President Trump, and therefore, it fits President Trump's mold ideologically. But he's not there to serve the president. He's there to be a justice on the Supreme Court. It's a separate branch of the government.